Layoffs intensify across companies. Google parent Alphabet has now announced that it is planning to cut roughly 12,000 jobs.
This morning, massive job cuts at Amazon. Overnight, the company announcing it'll eliminate approximately 14,000 roles. This is the largest corporate layoff of the year.
CEO Elon Musk posting a statement on the website saying they're laying off 7% of their full-time workers. It's all in an effort to cut the cost and increase production.
The ground beneath the American workforce has started to shift in a way that feels impossible to ignore. Over half a year, major employers, once seen as pillars of stability, have carried out wave after wave of layoffs, leaving entire communities bracing for fallout. Tech titans, entertainment powerhouses, and some of the country's most recognizable brands are shrinking their teams while boardrooms stay padded with enormous payouts. Families are scrambling to protect what they worked for. Savings accounts are thinning, and towns that relied on these corporations are facing a future filled with uncertainty. Something far larger is unfolding across the nation, and the impact reaches far beyond payroll numbers. Where does this lead next? And who will feel the next shock? Number 10. Google, Alphabet. Alphabet stands at the heart of America's technology sector, and its layoffs cut into the very identity of Silicon Valley. More than 12,000 employees have been dismissed from units tied to YouTube, Google Cloud, Pixel Hardware, and many of the research teams that shaped the company's rise. Engineers responsible for algorithms used by billions logged in one morning and found nothing but a locked account and a short message confirming their role had been impacted. YouTube faces another challenge as viewers drift toward competitors. TikTok dominates the short-form landscape. Meta pushes aggressive content strategies, and new AI search platforms threaten Google's core product. Cloud computing was meant to be the future. Yet even that division missed growth targets by billions last quarter. The emotional impact of these cuts reaches beyond the boardroom. Many of the departing employees helped build the backbone of American technology, and the suddenness of the process left entire teams stunned. Every lost job represents a halt in spending, a slowdown in innovation, and a drop in the confidence that once defined Silicon Valley's identity. Local economies feel the consequences as well. Cities that rely on tech salaries are collecting fewer taxes and seeing fewer startups launch. For a company known as one of the smartest in the world, these cuts reveal a deeper fear spreading through the tech sector. Number 9. Amazon. Amazon spent years expanding into a force that felt larger than the retail world it dominated. But the glow surrounding that empire has faded. The company has eliminated 14,000 positions across divisions that once powered the digital economy of the nation. Warehouses in Ohio, fulfillment centers in California, and server hubs in Virginia are no longer overflowing with activity. These spaces carried the rhythm of modern commerce, but many of those motions have slowed as workers walk out with termination notices instead of scanners. The cuts reach deep into AWS, the proud engine that brought in close to $90 billion a year. Businesses everywhere are trimming cloud spending, and an industry that looked untouchable is facing a heavy downturn. Online, shopping numbers reveal the same trend. E-commerce growth that once soared more than 30% during the pandemic has fallen to a murmur with an increase barely above 3%. The shelves inside Amazon's facilities reflect that reality. Fewer goods move in, fewer leave, and those vast buildings feel strangely hollow. The atmosphere inside the company reflects the shift. Employees speak quietly about uncertainty. Cafes near the Seattle headquarters report traffic down nearly a third. These details may seem small, but they reveal how far the shockwaves have traveled. Amazon built its power on speed, scale, and convenience. Those qualities made it a marvel of the modern economy. Now those same qualities expose a company stretched too thin in a country struggling to maintain purchasing power. When a trillion-dollar titan cuts this deeply, the message is clear. It is fighting to survive a landscape that no longer behaves the way it once did. Number 8. Boeing. Boeing helped define America's place in global aviation, but the company now faces a crisis that touches every corner of its operations. 12,000 employees have been dismissed as Boeing struggles with delays, quality concerns, and a mountain of debt that has climbed beyond $50 billion. The cost of interest alone is more than $600 million every quarter. Production flaws in Washington and South Carolina, once alive with the steady rhythm of assembly, stand quieter than anyone expected. Safety scandals, lawsuits exceeding $4 billion, and a series of high-profile malfunctions have weakened faith in a brand that once symbolized reliability. The company's stock has fallen more than 40% in 2 years, erasing nearly $70 billion in investor wealth. Suppliers across the nation feel the pressure as well. When Boeing slows, the ripple effect reaches thousands of smaller companies that provide parts and services. Analysts warned that another 30,000 indirect jobs could vanish through the supply chain. Number 7. Disney. Disney carried a reputation built on wonder and escape, but the company now faces a financial storm that has forced it to lay off 7,000 employees throughout its entertainment empire. Streaming losses, lower theme park attendance, and overwhelming debt have pushed the company into an era of difficult decisions. Disney's streaming division lost more than $2 billion last year. Theme parks in Florida and California show attendance down nearly 18% compared to earlier years, a sign that families cannot keep up with the rising cost of vacations. A single-day ticket approaches $200. While basic snacks and hotel stays continue to rise far beyond what many households can budget, inflation turned these trips into luxuries few can afford. Debt adds another layer of pressure. The company carries about $45 billion in obligations, and that weight limits what executives can spend on new shows, films, and attractions. Entire creative teams that shaped Pixar, Marvel, and classic animation have been replaced by contract workers or early-stage AI tools. Projects with years of development behind them were canceled overnight. So when one of America's most iconic entertainment companies struggles to fill its parks and retain its teams, it signals a shift in how the middle class experiences joy, leisure, and comfort. Number 6. Intel. Intel once shaped the digital age with processors that powered nearly everything in modern computing. The company now faces a steep decline marked by 15,000 layoffs, the largest in its history. Revenue fell from $63 billion to $44 billion in 2 years, as rivals like AMD and Apple continued capturing market share. Factories in Arizona and Oregon operate far below capacity. Intel invested more than $20 billion into new facilities, expecting a surge in semiconductor demand. Instead, consumer electronic sales weakened, and companies like NVIDIA took the lead in AI-focused chips. The result is a combination of overspending, overproduction, and heavy debt. The federal government introduced the CHIPS Act to reinvigorate domestic semiconductor manufacturing. But those funds cannot arrive quickly enough to reverse the company's decline. Intel's struggle represents a turning point. A company that once led global innovation is now fighting to regain relevance in an industry that evolves faster than it can adjust. Number 5. Meta. Meta described its decisions as a year of efficiency, but the reality felt far different. 20,000 employees lost their jobs as Meta restructured Facebook, Instagram, and Reality Labs. Those cuts reshaped a company that once aimed to push the world toward a fully digital future. The metaverse vision turned into an expensive burden, generating losses of more than $13 billion last year alone. Hallways inside the company's headquarters that once thrived with energy now feel empty. Cafes built to serve thousands of workers stand quiet. Remaining employees describe an environment filled with caution where anyone could be next. Meta's advertising revenue. The heart of its business has fallen by billions as small companies reduce marketing budgets. Younger users continue to drift away from Facebook and Instagram fights to keep pace with TikTok. Threads debuted with enthusiasm, yet it lost most of its daily users within months. These cuts point to a shift in the social media landscape. The bubble that connected billions around the world appears to be deflating as user behavior changes and competition grows. Meta once believed it could redefine human interaction. Instead, it is trying to stabilize a business model that no longer guarantees growth. Number 4. Warner Bros. Discovery. Warner Bros. Discovery carries some of the most recognized names in American entertainment. Yet, it faces an overwhelming financial crisis. The company has laid off more than 5,000 employees since its merger, while confronting nearly $48 billion in debt. Interest payments close to $700 million per quarter drain resources that once supported shows, films, and news operations. Streaming offered hope at first, but the reality fell short. Subscription numbers for the Max platform have flattened. Ad revenue is down more than 12%. Dozens of programs were removed from the service to avoid royalty costs, angering fans and creators who believed their work had found a permanent home. The stock reflects the company's challenges with a drop of more than 40% in 2 years. That decline erased $20 billion in shareholder value. Studio lots that once hosted vibrant productions now sit quiet with empty sound stages and limited filming activity. Small businesses that supply wardrobe, catering, lighting, and equipment feel the impact as well. Hollywood's economy relies on a complex network of workers and vendors, and the slowdown has reached every corner. An industry built on storytelling now struggles to tell its own story. Number 3. UPS. UPS long represented the movement of the American economy. Its trucks and planes carried the daily pulse of business. Yet, the company now reports cuts of 12,000 jobs as e-commerce demand falls sharply. Shipments that once reached 25 million packages per day during the pandemic have dropped to fewer than 18 million. That 7 million package decline translates into billions of dollars lost. Revenue last quarter fell more than 9% and net profit sank from nearly $3 billion to around $1.05 billion. Sorting facilities in Atlanta, Louisville, and Chicago operate with fewer shifts. Machines that once ran non-stop now sit idle for hours. UPS attributes the shift to market normalization, but insiders point to a larger economic slowdown. Consumers across the country are buying less. Inflation, reduced spending power, and many small online sellers have disappeared entirely. Businesses that relied on steady delivery volumes are placing fewer orders. The company's stock has fallen nearly 30% this year, and the decline wiped out more than $40 billion in market value. Even FedEx, a close competitor, is cutting jobs as the logistics industry signals a broader weakness. Number 2. Tesla. Tesla helped shape the future of electric vehicles. Yet, the company has entered a year marked by steep cuts and sliding demand. 14,000 jobs have been eliminated, and factories in Texas, Nevada, and California are scaling down production. The entire electric vehicle market is slowing, and Tesla faces competition from Chinese manufacturers like BYD that offer lower prices and faster growth. Materials used in batteries have climbed more than 20% in cost, squeezing profitability. Delivery growth that once raced ahead each year has fallen significantly. Tesla expected expansion to continue without interruption, but the reality of high interest rates changed the landscape. Monthly payments for a Model Y often exceed $900, and that price leaves many potential buyers searching for alternatives. The company's stock reflects the same struggles. It has fallen more than 30% this year, wiping out nearly $4 trillion in value. Musk blames global pressures. Yet, internal reports highlight concerns about quality control. Delayed Cybertruck shipments and expensive recalls that cost the company more than $1 billion last year. Tesla's struggle speaks to a broader economic truth. Americans want cleaner technology, but many cannot afford it. The dream of an electric future remains appealing. Yet, the cost of that future moved out of reach for millions who once hoped to make the switch. Number 1. Walmart. Walmart holds the title of America's largest private employer, and its decisions echo through every corner of the nation. The company is eliminating 25,000 positions, closing stores, and replacing workers with automated systems that lower costs, but cut deeply into communities that relied on those jobs. Inflation has weakened household budgets, and real retail sales have dropped more than 4% since 2024. Credit card debt in the United States has climbed beyond $1 trillion, leaving families with fewer choices when they walk through store aisles. Not even Walmart's low prices can overcome the reality of empty wallets. In many rural towns, Walmart serves as the primary source of groceries, household goods, and jobs. When these stores close or reduce staff, local economies struggle to survive. Restaurants, gas stations, and small shops nearby are reporting declines of nearly 40%. Workers who dedicated years to the company find themselves replaced by self-checkout machines and automated sorting systems. The emotional toll weighs heavily on communities that already face limited opportunities. Economists warn that Walmart's shrinking workforce signals a broader shift. When the nation's largest retailer pulls back, it reflects deeper issues within the consumer economy. Walmart shaped how Americans shop and live.